Helo, chroeso I sesiwn holi ac ateb mis hanes pobl ddion gwasanaeth tan ac achub De Cymru. Hello and welcome to South Wales Fire and Rescue Services Black History Month livestream Q&A. Rydw i yma heddiw gyda diffoddwr tan Alex Kelly a diffoddwr tan Lukeman King sydd yma heddiw i siarad am mis hanes pobl ddion a beth mae'n golygu iddyn nhw. Bydden nhw hefyd yn rannu rai o'i profiadau o weithio mewn rôl diffoddwr tan yn y gwasanaeth. I'm here today with firefighters Alex Kelly and firefighter Lukeman King, who are here today to talk about Black History Month and what it means to them. They'll also be sharing some of their experiences working in firefighter roles in South Wales Fire and Rescue Service. Rydym yn croesawu cwestiynau yn y Gymraeg a'r Saesneg, felly gofynnwch yn y blwch sgwrsio mewn Vimeo. We welcome questions in both English and Welsh, so if you have any questions, please use the chat function in Vimeo. Os ni allwch aros am y llif byw, cyfan, byddwn hefyd yn rannu'r fideo ar ein sianeli cyfryngau cymdeithasol. So if you're not able to stay for the entire live stream, don't worry, we'll also be sharing the video on our social media channels in the next few days. So let's get started. Felly, gadewch I ni ddechrau. Can you just start by telling us a little bit about your roles within the service?
Sure. Bore everybody. I'm Lukeman King. I'm a firefighter in the South Wales Fire and Rescue Service, and I'm in the development stage at the moment, so I'm developing skills with my watch. Part of the role is the obvious fighting fires and rescuing people from difficult situations, which could include road traffic collisions and things like that. But there's a lot more to the role to it behind the scenes that you don't normally think of. We do community fire safety, we do fire safety awareness, we visit schools at different levels to educate children as well. We're doing this at the moment as well as part of the awareness campaign, isn't it? So, yeah, it's a few bits of that. So.
And yourself, Alex?
Yeah, so Alex Kelly, firefighter. It's just basically the same as Lukeman. One of the things I love doing is going into schools, talking to the younger community and stuff. Just sharing our experiences with them, but also showing them what it's like to be a firefighter and hoping that they'd one day want to do something similar, you know.
Great. And when did you both first consider a career in the fire service?
It wasn't too long ago, actually, about 2.5 years ago, during COVID, during the lockdown. You know, I had to consider what I wanted to do for a career. Pivoted really from a previous profession, and I spoke to a firefighter about what he does, what we do, and the more he spoke about it and sort of what the values and the attitude that he was describing to me really aligned with my own, and I was like, this has got to be the thing for me, and I applied.
For me, I was always one of those children who chases that dream of wanting to be a professional sportsman. You know, I wanted to play basketball. I thought I was going to the NBA. I thought that's what I was going to do. And then one day I come home from school and I see 9/11 on the telly, and I just broke down in tears. You know, I was looking at what was happening, and I was just in awe of the firefighters that day. You know how brave they were. And I just hated the fact there was nothing I could do to help. I wanted to be there, and I just knew from that day going forward that, I was going to be a firefighter.
Oh, that's great. And in terms of Black History Month, what really motivates you?
And it comes down to the values that the service espouses, really. We really champion diversity and tolerance and openness to everyone as people. Black History Month for me, it really is focusing in on the awareness of the achievements and the values of sort of a minority, as it were. That's quite important, particularly as a service. Having come in now to it, seeing the values that we advertise that we're about, it really is intrinsic to us all. I love that we're doing this.
Yeah, and the same as any sort of minority group, we've had a dark past. The fact that it's slowly becoming accepted, I absolutely love the fact that we get a month to celebrate and you know, talk about our inspirations, you know, famous leaders who have inspired us. It's just a great opportunity to show the rest of the world that we are all the same as everyone else.
And you just touched on a little bit about some inspirational leaders. Is there anyone in particular that comes to mind?
I mean, for me, because I'm part South African, and obviously the obvious name there is Nelson Mandela, and you know, that was a name that I'd heard quite a lot growing up. So you know, that is a big one for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King. You know, there's also ones that some people may not have heard of. You know, Rosa Parks for one of them. You know, activists taking a stand. You know, stuff like that. It's great.
And we've touched on a little bit about, you spoke about the values that the service has. Why do you think it's important that we do things like these live streams and we post about Black History Month?
It's about awareness for me. You know, prior to thinking about applying to join the service and joining, the reason why I hadn't considered it before was not having the awareness of it. And I think, you know, sort of creating that awareness about, you know, what we're about, who can join, which is basically almost anyone really. It's important then that we take the opportunity to not only celebrate Black History, but also go, hey, look, you know, we're about that, you know, and we want everyone to, if they really feel like they want to be a part of this, there's nothing stopping them. Come and apply, be a part of us.
Yeah, we promote diversity and equality as a service. You know, it's not enough to just say it, we got to go out and do it. And doing stuff like this, like Lukeman said, it is part of doing that. You know, we want to do more of it. We want to get the message out further. We want to reach as many people as we can. Yeah, let's get more diverse people in. You know, not just the colour of their skin. It might be their gender or how they identify, anything. But yeah, let's do it.
Definitely. And obviously for Black History Month as well, we have a lot of events penciled in as well. So will either of you be attending some of those events?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And what are you hoping to promote at the event?
Just to, you know, it's obviously easier than when you're having a one-on-one chat with someone when they come up to you. So it's maybe answering some of the questions, giving a little bit more insight into what the day-to-day is like, and sort of, and then also promoting that awareness again, whether it be like safety side of things, oh, have you ever considered this in your day-to-day life, but also just what it's like for us in the role and how it feels. Being ethnic or black as well. You know, I've never felt unwelcome at all at any stage of the process of applying through to being a year in now on my station. And it's an incredible feeling. So, and that's something that I want to kind of sort of let people know about as well.
For me, a massive part of it is I'm going to be looking towards recruitment. So a lot of people I speak to, they'll say, well, you know, if there's not that many black and ethnic minority firefighters in the brigade, is that because they're not applying? I don't know the answer to that. So I want to speak to them myself. Are they applying? Are you applying? Tell me about it. If you're not, what can we do? What's in the way? What's stopping you? You know, I'd love to help people overcome those barriers to get them applying to join the service.
Definitely. And obviously you spoke a little bit before you applied type of thing. Did you see any potential barriers yourselves, or did you just think there's no reason I can't do this?
I'm quite an outgoing person and I'm very confident in a sort of humble sort of way, if that makes sense. I only tell myself that I'm my own worst enemy. So once I decided, this is something that I felt like I wanted to try, I just went for it. I didn't feel like there were any barriers really. So I don't know what it feels like for other people, and that's kind of what I wanted to have when we have these events, to find out how do people feel about that. Are there barriers that, like you said, Alex said, that we're unaware of, even though we're black and ethnic in the service? Because, like I said, when you're an confident person, sometimes you don't see those things. So for me, I didn't feel like any barriers were there, but yeah, that's just me.
I'm the same. There was no barriers for me. You know, I'm lucky in the sense that, yeah, okay, there's been times in my life when I've been subject to racism and stuff, but it wasn't that often. So I've never grown up feeling like an outsider. There's been times when I felt like an outsider, but not totally all the time. So for me, no, there was no barriers. I figured if everyone else can do it, I can do it. So I went and done it. That's
great. And obviously within the service, we have a staff engagement network in place as well. So if you I know you've said that you haven't felt, in those situations, but if you did feel uncomfortable in any way, do you feel like you could use those channels effectively if needed?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I, from day one, completely felt supported by my own crew members and by the service in general. So many channels and facilities open to any kind of support.
Yeah, for me, it's all about the watch. Your watch is your family. You see them more than your own family at home. My watch manager, my crew manager, they're absolutely brilliant. They support me with anything I do. And then the rest of the boys around the mess table, that's where our biggest conversations happen. Heart to hearts, tears, laughing, everything. They are my go-to.
And what do you think maybe the organisation could do a bit more of to increase sort of like promoting the roles within these communities and just promoting Black History Month in general?
Did you want to start?
Yeah. So for me, again, it goes back to what I said earlier about recruitment with black and ethnic minorities. Okay, we do recruitment drives and stuff, but are we focusing those recruitment drives in areas where there's more black and ethnic minority people? I think if something like that was done, then you're going to have more interest from black and ethnic minorities, as opposed to your regular valleys where we live.
Yeah, mine echoes Alex's opinion on that. Really, that so are we engaging with people of that demographic, and if we are, how focused are we, and how often are we? And also is there a disconnect between what they're wanting to know and what we think they want to know, or what we don't know they want to know. So it's about engaging with them as a focus group, and we might find that actually the only barrier to it is that they think they can't, and they only just say, yeah, you can.
There's no reason you can't. Yeah, definitely. And what advice, so if I was at an event, and what advice would you be giving to someone maybe from a black or ethnic minority background who's interested into applying, or maybe English isn't their first language, that type of thing?
I would say definitely do it. Go for it, because I know it sounds cliche, but to me it's the best job in the world. The people you meet, the things, not the things you have to do, but the things you get to do. I say get to do because it is a privilege to do it. Don't let barriers stand in your way. If you're not a strong English speaker, okay, we can work on that. There's always help. I would definitely say do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me is don't see yourself as any different than any other person. See yourself as a candidate. Look at what the service requires from you physically or sort of academically. Maybe there's certain minimum requirements, and you got those. Apply. I think the main thing for me that a person needs to have is a great attitude and a heart for it. You keep that all the way through, and you'll get through anything. And obviously we tend to we remind ourselves that that's what we need throughout life. And in the service in particular, because of us first responders, that's important to have. And we always support each other, like Alex said, the watch supports each other. But having that attitude will get you through anything. It will get you through the application process and get you into a station.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And obviously the corporate roles are a little bit different. So obviously there are a few more qualifications and everything that you do need. But just for whole time, for example, we don't ask for any formal qualifications at the time of application too. So it is a really open process, isn't it, if you think about it, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's, we should be encouraging people from all our communities to apply if they have that community aspect as well, which I think is really key. We do want people who are going to be really engaging, like yourselves on screen today. So I think it'd be really good as well if we could just talk a little bit about your roles like day to day. So obviously firefighters extremely different, so maybe if you could just talk about your local stations as well, because I think even then that's really different, isn't it, even in South Wales?
Yeah, sure. You go ahead if you want.
Okay, yeah, so along with our daily firefighting and RTCs and stuff like that, my station in Aberbargoed is a wildfire station, so that's what we specialise in. We have a lot of grass and mountain fires in our area, so we got specialist equipment to go and deal with them, but also equipment so that we can prevent stuff like that happening. We can do back burning and stuff like that. So that's a major part of my station and where I'm based.
Yeah, and I'm based in Whitchurch, yeah, and you know, there's a lot of daily maintenance, daily routines. You know, every watch, every day, every night we have checks on the equipment, checks on the trucks and the various trucks and things we have. We also have routines in station. We do a cleaning and routines, and so we're all doing it together, and we're all maintaining where we basically live, you know, most of the time. And my station has a focus on, we have a foam tender, which is a specialist equipment for fighting liquid fires. And so we do extra training on that. And, you know, so there's, and then we also engage in community fire safety. So, you know, if people call up having queries about, you know, their smoke alarms, or if they're not sure about certain things, we pay them a visit. We bring smoke alarms, we fit them for them and educate and say, look, you know, this is what you should do if there was a fire or some sort of incident, things like that, you know. So it's a lot of prevention is part of our roles.
Which I think a lot of people, they don't even think about really, do they? They think firefighter, putting out some fires and things. They don't even consider the prevention work, the fire management side of it as well, especially.
Exactly. That's one of the most common questions I get from my friends and family is, oh, have you had many fires today? I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, so just a day sat around. Yeah. Like, no, I have had other stuff to do. You know?
Yeah, that's a huge stigma with firefighters as well, isn't it? Sitting around waiting for a call, but you're actually busy all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you see on social media, whether it's a video on Facebook or TikTok and stuff like that, you'll get a video of like 999 operators receiving calls from children and stuff where, you know, they're saying to them, oh, my house is on fire, I can't find my mum, I can't find my dad and stuff like that. But that child knowing to phone 999 is from us going into schools and stuff, you know, explaining what you would do in these situations. So it goes to show that what we're doing is helping.
When we're sat about as well, we you know, as not sat about, but when we're not as busy in terms of calls, and maybe we've ticked off all the community fire safety and waiting to book some more, we will drill, we will prepare, you know, and we'll go over equipment together and go, oh, you know, how much do we need to work on this? So let's bring it out, let's do a bit of a drill. And then occasionally we do have cats up trees, which is, you know, we do get those, yeah.
We just had a question come in on the live chat as well. So what type of skills do you need to be a firefighter, and how does your background help you in your roles? So I think especially for you in a Cardiff-based station as well.
It's interesting. Every person on my watch and every person on station, we come from different backgrounds. We have such varied skill set. So I'd say don't think of what skills do I need. I mean, you know, that's a good way of just developing yourself anyway. But think about what skills you already have and what you can bring. You know, I come from a construction background, so my understanding of how buildings are put together is what I bring to the table. But there are also people who come from trades, so the specifics as well on what they know, maybe because they deal with certain sort of substances, for instance, so they'll have an understanding of materials. And then I think one of my crewmates used to be a diesel fitter, so he understands trucks. So with an RTC, you know, he brings that to the table. So, you know, I'd say see what you already have, see what you'd like to learn anyway, and just go like, you know, this is what I'm going to bring.
Yeah, for me, it's not so much about skills, but I'm a very empathetic person, you know, and I know that's something that I can bring to my role. I always want to help someone. It doesn't matter where they are, what they've done. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I can help, I want to. So for me, again, it goes back to what I said earlier about when I seen 9/11 on the telly. You know, that's when I knew what I wanted to do, and that feeling has never left me. I go to work every day with that same feeling. I want to help.
That's great. And obviously what we're looking for in the service are people who are going to lead the community really, and people who are going to reassure the community when they go into those home safety visits and at incidents and things like that. We've just had another question come through as well. Is there a particular memory in the service that you're really fond of? Might be a couple.
That I'm really fond of. For me...
If it's safe to say on the live stream.
It's safe to say.
Yeah.
I remember one time doing a school visit. It was only, I think, the key stage 1, and this one child in the class just kept sitting there and smiling at me the whole time. It wasn't until we finished the visit and we were walking out the door, the child finally come up to me and tugged on my sleeve and said, she said, you're a fireman. I said, I'm a firefighter. She said, yeah, but that's so cool. I want to do that. I want to be a fireman. I said, you could be a firefighter. She said, yeah, I want to do it. I want to do it. And it just goes to show that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and it doesn't matter what you look like or what you do. There's going to be someone that's looking up to you, wanting to be like you, and that is, to me, that's something special.
Yeah, for me, I mean, there's quite a few, but I think, again, going back to the cats, really, there was a cat stuck in the kitchen. Got stuck somehow. I got it behind, and my crew and I, we went in there, and you could see the owner was very, very distressed, like, really distressed. And we managed to get the cat out, and it jumped out and was a bit worse for weather at the moment. But the relief that we could see on the pet owner was palpable. It was really nice to see that now we've brought a bit of calm to them, and then rescued their pet from within their own home. And then other times as well, when we're out on safety runs, we're going to fit alarms, or even on the way back from an incident back to the station, we see kids come out of school with their parents, and they always love waving. And I always love engaging with the kids like that. Say, hey, we see you, hi, that's good. That's always great.
There always seems to be a lot of gratitude for what we do. We are turning up to see people on what is mostly the worst day of their life, and their house may have burnt down, but they will still turn to you and thank you for coming, thank you for being there so quick, thank you for your help. They haven't got a home anymore, but they're still thanking you for everything you've done, and that's great.
It's a really big community spirit around firefighters then, it seems, what you said, and just making a difference, whether it's sort of someone's potential career or someone's pets and things, it's going to stay with them, isn't it? So we've come to an end of all of our questions, really, so it's just a chance for you to either maybe just echo something you've already said about Black History Month, or maybe just tie it all together about what it means to you.
Yeah, so going on what I said earlier, Black History Month is special to me. It's a chance to celebrate and a chance to learn. And I would definitely recommend, to anyone, look someone up. Look for an inspirational black person from past or present. Have a read, see what they're doing. It might surprise you.
Yeah, I think you'd find by doing that there's a lot of people who persevere and broken barriers down. And we're privileged to live in a time where we're aware of things like this, and we're promoting diversity and openness. And so I think there's a lot more support than most people realise that there is, ourselves included. If anyone out there thinks that, I'm a certain skin colour, or like I said, a gender, or even any kind of economic background, anything, don't let that be a barrier. You can join. If you want to be a firefighter and you have that in the spirit and you have that motivation, come and join us.
I think one of the most important things as well is just how open it is on station as well. So come down to the station, come and speak to some of the crews as well, isn't it? Because yourselves included, every time I go to a station, everyone's so friendly, and they want to help, they want to encourage people to join. And obviously we did mention earlier, we've got a few events coming up too. So if maybe you haven't got a local station, come and speak to us at an event. If you see us, come and say hello.
Yeah,
find out more.
We got an event going on at Maindy Station. I believe it's the 22nd?
29th.
29th, 29th. Yeah, open day. Come down, have a look, see what it's about.
Try some of the fitness tests.
Try the fitness test, have a cup of tea, speak to firefighters. Yeah, come on down.
Yeah.
And obviously if you can't make it to an event as well, our website has all the information you need as well. It has a few of the staff profiles on there too, which I believe both of you are on as well.
Yeah. If you fancy reading a bit more about us, it's on there.
I mean, that was part of my application process, was going on the website and looking up our values and core skills, things like this, what the service is looking for, and that really formed part of the drive of my application. So, if you're unsure where to go, that's a very good first stop.
Definitely. So I just want to thank everyone for joining in today, and thank you both for featuring on the live stream. As we did mention earlier, we'll be sharing the video in a couple of days just on our channel, so keep an eye out on that for us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.